about stones and punishment, but Yahushua said think different. Cut the root where evil grows, that's how you stop what trouble shows. One standard, one rule, Torah makes us wise, not cruel. Search your heart before you speak, yeah, who loves the humble meek. No more double living ways, we obey for all our days. Oh, yeah. He said before you throw a stone, search your heart, are you clean alone? If you blame, you better see your own heart needs purity. One standard, one rule, Torah makes us wise, not cruel. Search your heart before you speak, yeah, who loves the humble meek. No more double living ways, we obey for all our days. He said some men have two rules, one for wise and one for fools. The Torah truth is fair and right, same rule shining in the light. One standard, one rule, Torah makes us wise, not cruel. Search your heart before you speak, Yahuwah loves a humble meek. No more double living ways, we obey for all our days. He said stop blaming other doors, if you walk in sin you chose. So we obey, we stand upright, with clean hearts and Yahuwah's side. One standard, one rule, Torah makes us wise, not cruel. Search your heart before you speak, Yahuwah loves the humble meek. No more double living ways, we obey for all our days. Late at night when the stars fill the sky so wide, I sit and remember how you walked by my side. Through every valley, every tear I couldn't hide, you turned my stumbling steps into a steady stride. Think about the times I thought I'd never make it through, but you whispered your commands and showed me what is true. Now every morning I wake up and I know it's real. Your ways are higher than anything I could ever feel. Yahuwah, you're amazing every single day. The way you lead me, the path you lay, I'm lost in wonder at the love you display. Yahuwah, you're amazing in every way. I read your Torah and my heart starts to burn. Each line of obedience makes my ruach turn. From chasing shadows to walking your light, you'll rewrite my story in the still of the night. The more I surrender, the clearer I see how your perfect will is the only place to be. No fancy words, just a quiet yes from me, and suddenly your peace comes washing over me. Yahuwah, you're amazing every single day. The way you lead me, the path you lay, I'm lost in wonder obey. You take the ordinary and make it set apart. You write a new chapter straight on my heart. Every yes I give you opens up the door to see your hand moving like never before. Yeah, ooh, you're amazing every single day. The way you lead me, the path you lay, I'm lost in wonder at the love you display. Yahuwah, you're amazing in every way. Baruch Yahuwah, for the thoughts you have for me, more than the sand on the shore, or the stars I see. From the first breath of dawn till the evening sky, I'll walk in your ways till the day I die. The obedience path isn't heavy like they say. It's the sweetest freedom I have found today. So I'll sing it soft, and I'll sing it loud and true. Yahuwah, my Elohim, I'm forever amazed by you. You're amazing every single day. The way you lead me, the path you lay, I'm lost in wonder at the love you display. Yahuwah, you're amazing, and you're amazing in every way. You're amazing, you're amazing. I'm amazed by you. Oh, yeah. Not bondage, it's breath. Not burden, it's light. Yahuwah's laws are the rhythm that makes wrong turn right. Those who want to truly live God, every command, kingdom citizens obey and take their Father's hand. Yeah. They labeled it a heavy yoke, a chain around the neck, but Yahuwah calls it life itself. Protect, provide, direct. Easy on the weary, simple for the child to see. Four simple words: love me, love my family. Not bondage, it's breath. Not burden, it's light. Yahuwah's laws are the rhythm that makes wrong turn right. Those who want to truly live God, every command, kingdom citizens obey and take their Father's hand. No starving ox while he plows your field for grain. No beating up the disabled, his mercy stays the same. No roadkill on your table, no blood upon your plates. His ways are pure protection, never, ever hate. Not bondage, it's breath. Not burden, it's light. Yahuwah's laws are the rhythm that makes wrong turn right. Those who want to truly live God, every command, kingdom citizens obey and take their Father's hand. Every tall. Remove it and watch Babylon rise, and watch the righteous fall. Not bondage, it's breath. Not burden, it's light. Yahuwah's laws are the rhythm that makes wrong turn right. Those who want to truly live God, every command, kingdom citizens obey and take their Father's hand. It's not about perfection, it's about direction, truth. A heart that says your will, not mine. That's what he's asking you. Easy, yes, life-giving, more than words can say. The lawless call it chains, the wise call it the way. Not bondage, it's breath. Not burden, it's life. Yahuwah's laws are the rhythm that makes wrong turn right. Those who want to truly live God, every command, kingdom citizens obey and take their Father's hand. Not bondage, it's breath. Not bondage, it's breath. Even when I couldn't see him, Yahuwah was near. I walked through valleys carved in dread, with heavy thoughts inside my head. I feared the dark would swallow me, but Yahuwah silently. You are my shepherd, kadosh and strong and true. Yahushua, you are my shelter, your shalom pulls me through. A wolfish whisper chased my mind. I thought I'd fall behind, and Ruach HaKodesh came like fire and lifted me above the mire. Yahuwah, you are my shepherd, kadosh and strong and true. Yahushua, you are my shelter, your shalom pulls me through. A shadow moved beside my feet, not threat but mercy, soft and sweet. And I realized with holy awe, his presence was my greatest law. Yahuwah, you are my shepherd, kadosh and strong and true. Yahushua, you are my shelter, your shalom pulls me through. Now when the night returns again, I will not bow to fear or men, for in my darkest place I know Yahuwah will never go. Yahuwah, you are my shepherd, kadosh and strong and true. Yahushua, you are my shelter, your shalom pulls me through. Yahuwah bury the oppressor. A tyrant rule with iron breath. He chained the babies, worshipped death. But you heard cries beneath the land and built a road through water's crack. Yahuwah, deliverer, cut our storm and fire. Yahushua, Redeemer, you lift us higher, higher. The sea stood up like walls of glass. The people walked, the night was past. But Pharaoh chased with raging pride until the waters took his ride. Yahuwah, deliverer, cut our storm and fire. Yahushua, Redeemer, you lift us higher, 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 higher. The chariot sang, the chains were gone. The people danced at break of dawn. And Torah rose like living flame as we declared your mighty name. Yahuwah, deliverer, kill our storm and fire. Yahushua, Redeemer, you lift us higher, higher. So every Pharaoh in my way must bow when you decide the day. For cease still part of your command, and freedom walks by your strong hand. Yahuwah, deliverer, cut our storm and fire. Yahushua, Redeemer, you lift us higher, higher. Yahuwah, deliverer, cut our storm and fire. Yahushua, Redeemer, you lift us higher, higher.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody that is out there. My name is Jason.
I'm Caden. I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah YouTube channel. And we can't thank you guys enough for being a part of this itty bitty little tiny ecclesia. This little tiny digital family that we have worldwide. We are hanging out with you guys from all four corners of these plains. And it's an exciting time to be alive. Now, for those of you guys that have never ever been a part of this particular reading, let me explain to you who the Boss Clan is. The Boss Clan, that's our family name. There's 5 of us sitting here out in the middle of a tropical rainforest, right smack dab in the middle of Panama. We left the States about over a decade or so ago when things were looking a little bit rough, and we believe that it was a great decision that we have made. Now, we are not a religious family, and that may sound very weird considering that we are sitting here talking on a Torah-based channel. Now, let me explain this, how I see this, and I don't see Torah keeping as a religious system. I don't see it as one of these same kinds of religious systems where we have 400,000 different religions that we could decide we want to participate in. There's over 40,000 different denominations of Christianity alone. So with those kind of numbers, the one thing that we could probably all come to the conclusion is that somehow there's 400,000 different religions that are straying from the words of what the scriptures says. Now, we don't have a religious name. What we call ourselves are law keepers, Torah keepers. We call ourselves the Hebrews, the Ibri. But as far as a name goes, a name doesn't really mean anything, because you can call yourself whatever name you want to be. You could call yourself the elect. But if you are not obeying the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of our Creator, then you're not going to be classified as the elect. You see, in scriptures, it very clearly tells us that to achieve salvation, that salvation does have a works platform. That indeed, if we have no works, that means we have no Torah. Because when I say that our Torah is a lifestyle, it is something that as we awaken in the morning, it crosses our mind. It crosses our endeavors. We think about the Torah from the time that we get up in the morning to the time that we go to bed, and it's a part of our daily lives. And this same Torah, I'm telling you, is a great, great thing. Something that has never, ever been given to those that don't want it. It was given to those who will accept the kingdom road. Now, it's easy to say that you don't want it, because you can say the laws are nailed to the cross. They are dead. You don't need them. But when it comes down to what the actual laws of our Creator are, it is something that if we don't want to keep the laws of our Creator, well, it will hurt your life. It will hurt your abilities to stay alive. Now, we're going to be going through these laws, statutes, and commandments here in just a couple of minutes. But before that, let us open us in prayer and get this show on the road.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for your Torah. We thank you for your salvation. We thank you for another day you've given to us, another beautiful Shabbat day, another day you've set apart for us to rest, to have a different day from the rest of the world, from the trials and tribulations and the struggles that we have during the week. We thank you for your mercy. We thank you for your kindness. We thank you for your Son. We ask that today the Ruach HaKodesh is with us, as on our hearts, minds, and souls, as on our eyes, as we read through your Torah, as we read through your life of your Son, and we understand that. We understand what you meant for us all these years ago. Thank you for all. In Yeshua's name, amen.
Okay, so here we are, and we are going to be getting into the first thing we always start this with is we start it with a Shema. Now, the Shema simply means hear and obey. Now, that may be something hard, and we may not grasp this concept of hear and obey, but it's one of these things like, say, for instance, you take a driver's test, right? Before you take a driver's test, or at least in North America, you study a book, and you read it, and you learn it, and you see what exactly it says. Now, for those who don't understand who the identity that Yisrael is, it's very, very, very clear in scriptures that anybody who wants to be a part of our Creator's band, his gang, his people, well, we all have one thing in common. And that one thing is that we are loyal to what our Creator has to say. Now, we open this up specifically to this Shema, which is out of Deuteronomy 6. It's verse 4 through 9. Because it is one of these things that if we can come to the understanding of who we are and what our goals in life should be based upon what the scriptures advise us, then this is a great way to start. So with that, Jade, will you please slowly and meticulously read through this?
Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah our Elohim, Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your might. And these words I am commanding you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them as a sign in your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates.
Now, these are exciting things, right? I mean, you wouldn't write something on your doorposts or on your gates unless you thought, right? You're not going to write things contrary to what you believe on your heart, your mind, your soul, right? And so things that we love are the things that has our attention. And when we know for a fact that we love our Creator, what gets our attention first is his commandments, his laws, his statutes, his ways forward. And in that, when you have this kind of love for our Creator, his words become extremely exciting. And the words, we're about to go over these here in just a second prior to this. And before that, Miss Nicole, will you please say hi to our brothers and sisters out there?
All right.
And before we do say hi on everybody out there, I want to also let everybody know, I got to always keep reminding everyone, the live stream, the uncensored stream is here, is right here. And so if you guys go to yahscriptures.com/live, we are always on the edge of being kicked off every major platform, which is why we set this up. Now, if you are listening to this on YouTube and the stream dies, we are going to continue on. We will not be back to YouTube this Shabbat, but if you want to get back into the rest of the conversation and the rest of this, you guys can go to yahscriptures.com/live. And it will be there. You can also download the full uncensored version of it when we are done. It will be there immediately, so you guys can download it, listen to it offline, and you can give our Creator praise and worship. And, you know, we're trying to keep this so that we're able to stay online through all this. So, Miss Nicole, can you please say hi to our brothers and sisters?
All right. We have Joanna. We have Sister Barb and family. Sarah and William. Brandy and family. Ramon and family. Bat Yahuwah. Sue, Curtis, Sharon Elizabeth, new name, welcome to you. Honeymoon Stitch, Brian, Miss Sylvia Ewerts, Jeanette, Christina. We have Dragoon in Australia. Dragan. Is it Dragon?
I think it's Dragon. I think it's Dragon. I don't think it's Dragan. I think it's Dragon. And I don't know because he hasn't corrected me. And if he did, I miss it. But well I'm going to go with the Dragon.
I know he said you're supposed to roll the tongue, but I don't know why.
But which letter to roll
know.
it? We'll just do it. We'll do it. Dragon. Maybe. I don't know if that's how to roll the tongue. That
and
doesn't
then we
sound right.
have XXR3, which is Andrew and his family. Welcome back to you. Jolie, Danny Boy. Scrolling through here to see who else we have. Josh, Gail Williams, Yahuwah Chan. And I think that's everybody. If I missed anybody, I apologize.
Say hi to Sue. I saw Sue pop
I did
in.
say Sue.
Hi, Sue. Hi, everybody. Much love from all of us to all of you guys. Big hugs, big hugs, big hugs, big high fives.
And it's Dragan.
Dragan. It's Dragan. Can you help me remember that, please?
Yes.
Dragan. Okay, I gotcha. I'm not sure how to roll the tongue on that part, but it seems simple enough that we could do this. Maybe I'm not too old. We'll be able to do this. So what we're going to go through real quick is a couple of things. Number one is, again, please remember the uncensored version of this because, you know, we get cut off all the time. Now, what we want to do is we are going to go through these beautiful laws, these beautiful statutes, and these beautiful commandments that our Creator has given to us. And there's one commandment. Where's our graven image commandment? Do you guys remember where that's at?
Hold on. I don't know what number that is.
When we get into the graven image commandment, I have a little bit of a side road. We're going to take a fork in the road because last week we had a brother and we had people that were concerned regarding the images that we are using, and I did a little bit of research, and so I would like to present the research that I did before all of you guys out there, so that we can try to come to a conclusion or at least an understanding of what a graven image is. And so let's be careful with the commandments and let's be careful with all of these so that we don't want to be those guys that are bringing graven images. We don't want to be those guys that are causing people problems with it. And the reason we use images, again, a disclaimer, is that for those who, the majority of people that read scriptures don't read scriptures. And I will tell you that because we have nearly 400,000 audio downloads. That means there's 400,000 people that have clicked play on a chapter. So I think the majority of the people simply listen in. And so for those that we're trying to reach, we always try to get a little bit of pictures along with the rest of this. Now, the disclaimer is that if for some reason you feel obligated to get on your knees and start worshiping the pictures that I put on the screen, I would encourage you not to even look at the screen if that's your feelings inside your, that's what you're looking at. And so we'll get into the graven images as we go into this. And so for those who have never heard this before, these are the words. This is the words, right? And people are like, well, what is the word of the Creator? What does the Creator want us to do? What is his heart, mind, and soul? Well, we're about to go over his heart, mind, and soul because these are his wishes. Now, these wishes from his mouth were given to us by the hand of Moshe. Now, they weren't written down so that we could toss them in the trash. They were not written down so that we could find a new Savior and say this Savior has eliminated all these. But we have these so that they are a part of our lives. Every single commandment in these 157 commands have a lot of value. Everything. You can't just say, I want one command, but I can hurt the disabled. You can't just say, okay, I'll take this commandment, but I'm okay looking at my kids naked, right? Every single commandment establishes the order of the civilization that we are trying to get to. We are trying to get to a government on a new mountain, on a mountain called Mount Zion. We are looking for the New Jerusalem. We're looking for a city. And that city is going to be ruled by our Messiah. And our Messiah knows this Torah, and this is what we will be living under. So if you don't like these commandments, well, you're in good luck because you probably won't make it to the kingdom because you won't have to deal with this. Because those who are hating these commandments are obviously going to be told to depart from me or depart from Messiah Yahushua because you work lawlessness. So let's get into these beautiful commandments. I'm going to let the boys take this over. We're going to go through these very slowly. We get a lot of questions now. We also get a lot of questions later. Gentlemen, the greatest, most important thing that you guys can do is to present this very slowly, very meticulously, and anything that you guys would like to discuss, I would love to hear it from all you guys. Are we all good?
Yep.
Team, are we ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get to it. Commandment
Number 1, be fruitful. To be fruitful, we're supposed to not be couches. We're supposed to be fruitful in everything that we do.
Multiply. We are supposed to go out and multiply ourselves throughout the earth.
Replenish the earth. We're supposed to give back to the earth. We're not supposed to take away from it.
Subdue it, having over the fish, fowl, and every living creature. We should be the ones ruling over the animals, not the animals ruling over us.
The herb bearing in every tree is for food. Yahuwah gave us the garden when he gave us the plants and life. He said, this is your food. This is for you to eat.
Men and women should build their own families. They're supposed to leave their parents' houses and build their own families.
Master sin. We are to be the rulers over sin. We are not to let sin overtake us. We can do that by keeping the Torah.
Every clean moving thing that lives shall be food for you. When Noah got off the boat and there was no plants to eat, Yahuwah said, here's the meat you eat. You can eat the clean of the food.
Do not eat the blood. The blood, there is life in the blood. Yahuwah says that is a very unholy thing to do, and he does not want us blood coming into our mouths.
Walk before me and be perfect. Everything that we do, we should strive to be perfect before Yahuwah when we walk before him.
Guard Yahuwah's covenant, laws, statutes, and commandments. The one thing he wants to do more than all the rest of the things is to guard his laws, covenant, statutes, and commandments.
Every child shall be circumcised 8 days old. Every male child shall be circumcised 8 days old. And that is the covenant between Yahuwah and his people.
Teach your children the commands and guard the way of Yahuwah. You are supposed to teach your children and show them the ways of Yahuwah so they do not stray away from it when they are older.
You remember Yahuwah's name for all generations. Yahuwah's name is supposed to be passed down. We're supposed to teach it. We're not supposed to forget it. We are supposed to remember the name that he told us to call him.
Keep Passover, Pesach. This is the first feast of the year. You are to slaughter a lamb and eat it before at sundown.
Keep the feast of unleavened bread, the festival of matzah. This is where you get all the leaven, all the things that have leaven contained in them, and you get them out of your house, and you are to eat unleavened bread for 7 days.
There was one Torah for the stranger and the Hebrew. It doesn't matter where you come from, you all follow the same law. You follow Yahuwah's law, and you follow the Torah that he gave you.
Sanctify all firstborn to Yahuwah. The firstborn owner of everything belongs to Yahuwah.
There are no mighty ones before Yahuwah. Yahuwah said he is El and El alone, and you are not to have any mighty ones before him. You shall not make graven images.
All right, now let us talk about the graven images. Gentlemen, what is a graven image? Anyone know?
I'm assuming it's a carved thing made from a material. Is it carved?
Something you worship that's physical.
Yeah, so let's, here's the question. It's Shemoth 24 says, what is a graven image? So let's begin with the actual definition of what a graven image is. So a graven image is a carved, sculpted, molded, engraved, or manufactured representation made for religious worship. It is an idol intended to represent a mighty one, spiritual being, person, animal, or object in the Shamayim. So here's the verse, Shemoth 24-5. You do not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness of that which is in the Shamayim above, or which is in the earth beneath, or which is in the waters under the earth. You do not bow down to them nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah, your Elohim, am a jealous Ayil. Okay, so here we are. Let's take a look quickly at this verse. And the beginning of it says, you do not make for yourself the carved image. So right out of the gate, what can we take from the possibility of this? Now, it's not going to always be a carved image, because we could certainly, you could take a image and print it off on a printer. You could take Buddha or Baal or something like that, and you could put it on your fridge and you could bow down to it, right? This is the concept, right? So part of this is that you're making yourself a carved image or any likeness, that which is in the Shamayim above or beneath. Now, the Hebrew word translated graven image or carved image is called pesel. And you guys can actually see it right there. That is the Hebrew word. And so, a pesel is an image that has been carved, cut, sculpted, molded, or fashioned for use as an idol, right? Okay, so this is technically, we are making a decision, or somebody has made a decision that whatever it is, we want to worship this thing. Now, the word translated likeness is called temuna, and there's the Hebrew for that as well. And a temuna is a form, appearance, figure, image, or representation. So it comes down to this. It's the main issue is worship. The command does not necessarily forbid every picture, photograph, sculpture, carving, or piece of artwork. So the following explains what is forbidden: bowing down to an image, serving or worshiping an image, praying to or through an image, treating an image as sacred, believing that spiritual power lies within an object, using an image to represent Yahuwah, giving an image religious honor or devotion. Now, if we want to go down into this, let's pick on those who are of Islam, right? They actually have this giant thing they call Mecca, and they all bow down to this and they all worship it. Let's pick on the Catholicism folks, right? They do this in mass, and not just in mass. When I say in mass, in their mass, they are doing it, right? You can bow down to Mary, you bow down to Peter, you bow down to Paul, you bow down to baby Messiah, you pray to Mary, you do all of these kind of things, right? The rosary beads, right? Remember the rosary beads that they will hold and they will sit there and fondle, and they will pray using the beads, and they pray to Mary, right? So in the event that you have a picture of some doll and you say this doll is Mary, and you start praying to the doll, then we have broken these commandments of graven images. Later, the commanded images of the cherubim, remember the cherubim, right?
Yeah.
The cherubim were put over this in and of itself, right? Here is an example of when something was used, right? They made two angels with cherubim over the ark of the covenant. Here's the verses. And you shall make two cherubim of gold, make them of beaten work at the two ends of the lid of atonement. And the cherubim shall spread out their wings above, covering the lid of atonement with their wings, with their faces towards one another. The cherubim were not made to be worshipped. No one was commanded to pray to them, right? Bow down to them or serve them. The sin occurs when an image becomes an idol, an object of devotion, or a physical representation of Yahuwah or another mighty one. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at this. Now let's quickly discuss this amongst ourselves as to whether or not the images, the pictures that we're trying to do as storytelling are a graven image. Is there anything in this that you guys can see from the definitions of this that is a graven image?
Unless you're worshiping, I wouldn't say it's a graven image.
To the microphone, my friend. Okay, and so yeah, guys, scoot in, please, so everybody can hear you guys. You can't hear out there. Yeah, and so here's the thing, right? We again, we are not putting an image on the screen so that you guys worship that image. We have never ever said that this is Elohim or that this is what you should worship, the Almighty Ones, right? So in the event that your spirit becomes moved, that you feel like you should start worshiping some of the images we have on the screen, please shut the stream off right away and go somewhere else, right? Go pray, go seek our Creator, because this is not what this is. We are here to try to bring the scriptures to life in any way that we can, and sometimes pictures work really good. A lot of people can't figure out a story, or we try to match them up, and so this is why we do bring these kind of things here. So with that, let us continue on into the rest of this. And 21, do not bring Yahuwah's name to naught. A lot of people will do it. They do the OM, you know what. Everybody has their the name God as a cuss word. And it's the same thing. God is not the name of our Creator. His name is Yahuwah. And God is a surtitle, but these people don't understand it like this, right? When they're saying OMG in that fashion, they are literally taking the name of our Creator that they think is the Creator, and they're bringing it to naught. And this is the same thing. You're not going to use your mother's name as a curse word, right? Are you? Are you going to use your dad's name as a curse word? No. Those aren't things we do. So we would not bring the beautiful name of our Creator to a nothingness. Okay. Next.
The Shabbat, the Sabbath day. This is the seventh day that is set apart. It is to be held in high regard. It is to be a holy day.
Honor your parents. We're supposed to honor our parents, people who brought us in this world, people who raised us, people who put a roof over our heads. We're supposed to honor them.
Do not kill. It is not your choice on who gets to live or who gets to die. It is only up to Yahuwah.
Do not break wedlock. You are not to break wedlock outside of marriage. You are not supposed to do this. Yahuwah said, if the people that are found in this are supposed to be married, and if there is adultery, they are to be stoned.
Do not steal. If it does not belong to you, if you have not paid for it, then do not take it. It is not yours.
Do not make false accusations against your neighbor. Do not lie. Be truthful in everything you do.
Do not covet anything of your neighbor's. If it is not yours, you should not be lusting after it. You should not be desiring after it, because it will cause you to do things that you should not be doing.
All right. Let me answer this real quick, and I'm going to try to do this the very best family-friendly way that we can answer this. And this is Ramon, right? So Ramon was wondering in the chat, if you guys want to go back and through the chat, he had a friend there. They were talking about an event when you are sleeping that you wake up, and I don't know how to. I guess I was going to keep it family friendly. It's called a wet dream. I'm sorry, everybody. I am so sorry. Is that a sin? No. Number one, it is not a sin, but you are not clean, right? According to the actual rules and regulations, if you have a discharge in the middle of the night, you are outside the city gates, right? You go outside the city gates, you wash up, you're not clean. So it's one of the same reasons that there's a huge argument about intercourse on a Shabbat. I've just gone way down the family friendly road.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's off. So the question is it okay? And there are things that is not okay, and it is because of a cleanliness rule, right? We are back in the days when we were heading to the temple. You couldn't just go to the temple if you had touched a corpse, if you had a discharge in the middle of the night. Things of this nature make you temple unclean, right? You are unclean, and the rule is when you bathe at night and you become clean the next day. So does having such an event at night, is that a sin? No, but it's something to be very, very cautious of, because is your day-to-day activities bringing in such an endeavor such as your nighttime dreams? That is all things that we need to do. Are you watching pornography? What are you doing that would cause such a thing to happen per se, right? And again, I have no idea where we go in our dreams. It's like a whole nother world. It's like we literally wake up in another part. We have another life. We're doing stuff. We're always doing it. But the thing is, a lot of it we can't control, but a lot of it is stuff in our environment that if we are causing things of this nature to happen, we should correct this. We should do everything possible to get ourselves and our mind in the right place. It's like whenever I see an indecent anything at all, number one, I always turn away. And number two, I'm always asking the Creator to please blank these thoughts out of my mind. Please stop this evil that is a regret. Something that has taken my mind and I want it over. Please uncorrupt me and please help my thinking. And when I do pray that, it usually disappears, right? Something from the long ago, some past thing or something, you think about this and you're like, oh, and you could continue on in that thinking, but then you're just corrupting yourselves further. So what we need to do as the Creator's children is we need to be as clean in all ways, shapes, and form as we can possibly do. That's why pornography is a no, 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 no. Did I mention no? Yeah, I did. Let me try it again. It's a no. It doesn't just corrupt your mind, it corrupts your family. It makes you an adulterer. It's a delusion. The entire pornography world is a delusion of things that are not reality. And we have to understand this is not the way of our Creator. He never ever put these kind of things out there. And so we want to try to go back to this. In the event you have something that happens at night, right? Seek redemption, seek prayer, seek our Creator, ask our Creator not to have these things go in our minds, and it will disappear. So after that, I just went to a total R-rated thing. I'm sorry, everybody out there. Let us get back in these Torah commandments. We are here to answer everything, regardless of how it goes down, to the very best of our understanding. And we don't have all the answers for everything, guys. We don't. But we will, as a group, I think we can all come through this. I think we can all think about this, and we can all come to a conclusion of what makes our Creator happy. And this is how we do it, right? Torah commands. How do we know what the heart, mind, and soul of our Creator is? Well, we're reading it right here. We know how our Creator wants us to act and behave and operate because we're going over it. And this is why it's important that we do this. All right, gents, continue on.
Do not go up to the altar by the steps. If you go up to the altar, you are not to go by the steps. This is for the priests only.
If a man steals cattle, you shall restore it 5 times. If you steal someone's animal, you will restore it to him 5 times.
Yahuwah's laws for criminals. Yahuwah has a law for criminals. If they kill, they steal, they're innocent or guilty. The cities they can run to if they accidentally kill someone. And the revenge that can be taken upon them if they do not run to those cities.
Do not lie with beasts. This is an abomination. Everything involved was stoned. This is just a horrible thing. Don't do this.
No sacrifice to other Elohim. If sacrifices were around, they would only go to Yahuwah and not any other mighty one.
Do not oppress a stranger, fatherless, or widow. These people specifically are mentioned because they have a hard time in life. They are going through struggles and trials and tribulations. They have nobody to rely on, nobody to provide for them. So now you are to take care of these people. You are not to oppress them. If you were to oppress them, you are just you're a demon. You're an evil person to attack the people that have nothing left in their life.
Do not charge your brother interest. You are not supposed to charge him interest. If you loan something to someone, then you get back exactly what you gave and nothing more.
If you borrow your neighbor's raiment, return to him before sunset. Back in the day, people likely only had one raiment. If you took it from them, if you borrowed from them, they would be cold at night and they would cry to Yahuwah.
Do not curse the ruler of your people. These are the people that were going to bring you closer to Yah, that were going to remind the kingdom of the commands. These are the people that were going to have the people all under Yahuwah's ruling. These are not people that are running the elections today, running the presidencies, running the world today. These are people that were holy from Yahuwah.
Do not eat what is torn of any beast. If there's an animal kills another animal, we're not supposed to eat it. It is unclean. Doesn't matter if it's a clean animal, we do not eat it.
No false report. You should be truthful in everything you do. You should not lie about others.
Do not follow a multitude of evil. You are to stay away from these people. When they are a multitude of evil, you are to separate yourselves from the evil. Do not judge unrighteously against the poor. It does not matter in poor or righteous or poor or rich. It only matters about righteousness. It only matters about who is keeping Torah and who is not. Everyone is judged equally for their sins.
Bring back your enemy's cattle if you find it going astray. If you see your enemy's animal running away, you bring it back. The animal has done nothing wrong to you. The animal can get hurt if you do not help it.
Help the animals of your enemy. If your enemy's animal needs help somehow, help it out. It is not your enemy at all. It is your friend.
Stay away from rumors and gossipers. These only bring in more sin, more confusion, and more unholiness amongst the people of Yah, and you are to stay away from these things. If it is not true, do not speak it.
And do not take bribes. Bribes corrupt the mind. It corrupts the soul. It turns a blind eye to things that should not be turned eyes to.
Do not oppress a stranger. Love the stranger. If someone who is around who needs help, help them out instead of oppressing them.
Yeah, I think somebody was, who was it that was talking about Hollywood stuff? Sue Smith. Yeah, so Sue was talking about, I just saw a brief comment in there about, because we were talking about pornography, but she mentioned about Hollywood shows, right? And these are, I mean, those of us who keep Torah know the evils of this one-eyed sleep snatcher, right? We know the evils of all of these things that are infesting all of our kids. And it doesn't take much to cause people to go downhill. I haven't watched TV now for like 13 or 14 years, but when I did used to watch TV, people were half nude. People, they had like beer commercials and there were girls and everybody's in skimpy clothes and all of this kind of stuff. And guys, it only takes a few of these things, right? The devil only has to pop these images in there just a little bit, and it can make changes. It can make changes in your spouse. It can make changes in all of this. And it's the eyes are the windows to the soul. And it is a hard world that we live into right now. 100 years ago, we didn't even know what pornography was, right? We did not even, there was no such thing. They didn't have the kind of evil that we have right now where a picture lasts forever and everybody's down with this stuff. And it is one of the greatest killers of marriages. It is one of the greatest killers of, having that sacred bond of man and woman, because when you are jumping into pornography, when your eyes are slipping away from this and you break into this act, you have become an adulterer and you are now an official adulterer. And so we have to make sure that we don't become an adulterer, because you know what happens? Let's say a man endows into that act of pornography and you go and you sleep with your wife. She is now an adulterer as well as the little pornography girl. That's how it goes. It just carries on this cycle. And this is why our Creator set a man and woman as a single grouped entity. The entire pornography is, it's a detriment upon all of us and our societies. All right, guys, continue on. Sorry, guys, jumped on the soapbox. I'm off.
All right, we are on Do Not Oppress Stranger, Love the Stranger. Love those that are coming into Torah, so help those that are not in Torah, because the children of Israel were once strangers in the land of Mitzrayim, and so we have to love those and teach those and not treat them the same way our ancestors were treated.
Give your land rest in the 7th year. This is the Jubilee year. You are to plant everything in the 6th year, and the 7th year your land is to have rest. You are supposed to do an entire year of rest and regain its nutrients, regain its strength, so that Yahuwah will bless you and your fields.
Do not mention any pagan names. Big stuff, right? We live in a pagan culture. Everything. We can't even say the days of the week or the days of the month without actually technically saying a pagan name. And that's the same, we've discussed this on this channel quite a bit about the English language and how it is like one of the most wicked languages that all of us have grown up into. And when you look at, say, for instance, like Paleo Hebrew, and you look at the actual alphabet, the alphabet of the Hebrew language, it's all pictures, right? You tell the stories based upon pictures. Now, for us, we have spelling, right? We literally spell to get words together, and it's corrupted and all of this stuff. So we got to be careful. It's hard to go through a week and a month without technically saying a pagan name. The thing about our Creator is that, up until Babylonian captivity, they never ever had names for months or anything of the sort, right? It was month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4. And, they had the month of Aviv, which is the beginning. But when they came out of Babylon, right, they had the month of Tammuz, of all things, right? The son and daughter of Nimrod, the son of Nimrod, Tammuz. And, this is the thing. We live in this. And once we understand that everything around us is pagan, and we do the very best possible to not be a part of this. Continuing on.
All right, we're going to give your land rest in the 7th
Keep
year.
the feast of, it's 50. Keep the feast of Yahuwah.
I'm a little off then.
Okay.
Keep the feast of Yahuwah, who has feasts set apart throughout the year. He wants us to keep until all generations.
Do not cook your goat in his mother's milk. This is a pagan tradition. This is an unholy thing. This is another abomination. Yahuwah said he does not want you to cook your goat in the mother's milk.
Obey Yahuwah's messenger. He sends before you, and Yahuwah sends a messenger before you, so obey him, listen to him.
Do not bow down to other Elohim. The only you should bow down to is Yahuwah. You should not worship any of the mighty ones and anything else besides Yahuwah.
Serve Yahuwah. You are to serve him. He is to be the thing we serve the most. He is to be the one that is to be served more than anyone else. We should not be worshiping mighty ones. We should not be worshiping other deities. We should be only worshiping Yahuwah.
Make no covenant with other Elohim or outsiders of the land. We're not supposed to make covenants with the people that are not in Torah, people that with other mighty ones. We're not supposed to serve other mighty ones or make promises to them. We can see what happened when Joshua made a covenant with people outside the land. He got scammed, and he ended up with having people that are unholy living amongst him.
Do not make or use an oil on an oil person. Do not make or use perfume on an oil person. Excuse me. The priests had specific oils and perfumes they were told to make with specific ingredients, and these were only for the people of the Levites. If there were other people outside of the Levite clan that were using these, they were to be kicked out of the camp.
Do not eat the fat. We're not supposed to eat the fat. Yahuwah says it's associated savory smell unto him, so you burn at the altar. We're not supposed to eat it. It's full of toxins, and it's not healthy for people to eat.
Question from the chat: when the Christians say Jesus Christ, are they saying foreign mighty ones' names? What's the etymology? Where does the word Jesus come from?
Well, Zeus. It's pagan. Start with.
Jesus, right? It's the son of Zeus per se, right? So it has pagan origins. The problem is that ignorance does seem bliss. Unfortunately, it won't be when we're standing in the fire. But that's one of the things with names and the Hebrew names. The whole thing about like Shabbat, Hebrew names, all of the Torah keeping, it all kind of comes together, right? When people are like, hey, this guy's name isn't Jesus, and you're like, well, what is it? And they're like, well, Yahushua, Yeshua. And then it comes down to, what does it mean? Well, Yahushua means Yah is salvation. It literally, the name of the Most High means salvation. So when we say Jesus, it's more of like, it's like, I don't know. It's just, it's a sick joke on all of us that they took this out. And it wasn't even in the 1600s that they did this, because prior to the King James, the corrupted King James, where they named him Jesus, prior to that, they named him Isis. And, that's like, it goes pagan, satanic, pagan. It just goes all the way to the end. So,
to a degree, yeah, they're saying a pagan name.
They are saying a pagan name, but we're also saying it when we say the word January, right? Because it has to do with Janus, and it has to do with like Friday. It's like there's a god. Frigga is like every single day of the week. Thursday is Thor's day. So every single thing that we're dealing with here is we've woken up in an extremely pagan world.
And with me, I say the days all the time because I have customers and I schedule appointments.
Yeah,
I can't say fourth day because they wouldn't know.
Yeah, they have zero idea. And so at a certain point, and I guess there's a lot of this intent, right? A lot of this intent. If you're like happy to be, saying these names, and you're saying them just to say a pagan name, obviously that is incorrect. And so once we know, we should try not to, use the old stuff. And it's hard, guys. We're at the end of time. We're 6,000 years. We're in the middle of World War III, it seems like. And it's a perfect time to come out of the world and come into Torah, because things are getting rough. All right, let's continue on.
Alrighty. We are on do what you say you are going to do. If you say something, be a person of your word, be a man of your word. Do what you say you're going to do. Do not lie or cheat someone. Return what is your neighbor's. If something belongs to your neighbor, you're supposed to give it back to him. You're not supposed to keep it if it doesn't belong to you.
Obey Yahuwah's dietary laws. Guys, this is Leviticus 11, right? When you look at these, please understand there's a lot of different verses for every single one of these. The one that says guard Yahuwah's covenant laws, over 54 times this is reiterated. Now, when we talk about the dietary laws of our Creator, the only place in scriptures that very clearly tells us without a shadow of a doubt what food is and what food isn't is that chapter. And so it is very, very clear what our Creator has built for us. And this is yet the crack cocaine of the Christian religion. Because the first thing that most Christians refuse to do besides law keeping is come back to the dietary laws. And it doesn't have it that our Creator isn't like, oh, I don't want you to have that because it's so good for you, and I know it's tasty, and I want you to show sacrifice. It's that is a corruptible food. We talked about this to a nauseum, But the pig is riddled full of parasites that the pig is okay with. The pig can live its entire life full of all of these worms and all this trichinosis and all this stuff that will level a human being, and you will end up dead. Well, that's what a pig's life is about. It's about being a janitor. It's about eating these things that are not, humans wouldn't eat, and we shouldn't have them. And how a pig digests is crazy. It's completely different than any other animal that is out there. It doesn't have the same cooling apparatus that the rest of the animals do. That's why you see it rolling around in its own feces. That's why you see it doing crazy stuff, because it's built a different way. It's not built to be on our buffet table. It is built to be a janitorial system that cleans up feces, dead things, all sorts of stuff. They leave them in little villages to clean up the feces outside of a house. A person will go outside the house in the middle of the night and have to go to the body, go to the bathroom, and the pig comes by and has a little snack and walks away. And then people literally put that in the frying pan, and they're eating doo-doo, and they're eating the worms, they're eating all the stuff that did not go through the pig. Whereas chickens, whereas cows, whereas the things that are clean, they digest differently. Look at the stomachs of a cow. Look at how all these clean animals process their food. And what you're going to find is these things aren't meat eaters. They're not carnivores. The deer aren't carnivores. The things that we can eat don't go around eating the dead. And so there's a difference between what our Creator wants us to eat and what the rest of the world wants us to eat. So we got to be kodesh. We got to be holy in all of this. Continue on.
Women's time of separation. Women have their time of separation. They're supposed to be time to rest, time for them to recover, and they're supposed to be taken care of.
Obey Yahuwah's hygiene laws. When you are unclean, this is how to deal with it, how to keep clean, how to cleanse yourself, and what specific requirements
and
are.
I think this would be one of these nocturnal emissions. Sister Barb said it right. Thank you so much. I don't have the great verbiage for this stuff. But this is where we have these kind of things, right? Women's time of separation, right? The things that they are sitting on when they are cycling, it becomes ceremonially unclean. It's just how our Creator wants us to live and how He wants us to operate and how He wants us to be ready for worship. And that's in a clean heart, clean mind, clean hands, all of these.
Keep the Day of Atonement, Yom HaKippurim. Yahuwah is the Day of Atonement, it's the Day of Repentance, to afflict our souls, and the priest would go in once a year to do a sacrifice to atone for all the tribes of Israel.
Do not uncover the nakedness of your family. Another abomination for Yahuwah, and you should put to death.
Do not take your woman's sister for a wife. If you already have a wife and you want to marry her sister too, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. We saw what happened with Rachel and Leah and all the fighting they had. It was a very
And you should, if you have a wife, you shouldn't be going and looking for another wife. I mean, I know some people might take that out of context, Jade. I mean, you guys understand that, right? One man, one wife. It's the system, right? It's the cycle of it. Two flesh making it one. And when you guys find that kind of a marriage, when you find a spouse that you guys have two flesh and you become one, it's incredible. There's no other word for it than incredible. And the one way that you could easily ruin that is trying to explain to your beautiful, loyal wife why it is that you want another wife. It's not ever going to go down well. It's not going to be a conversation that she walks away with like, oh, okay, well, that makes me feel better, okay, right? It's not something that you're going to build a family, right? We're here to build families. We're here to bring a strong governing body to our families, and you're not going to do that if you're out there doing this kind of stuff. Continue on.
Do not lie with a woman who is uncleanness. When a woman is unclean during time of separation, you're not supposed to lie with her, so stay away from her.
You should not sacrifice your children to Moloch. You shouldn't sacrifice your children at all, but specifically not to Moloch.
Do not be a sodomite. Being a sodomite is unholy. It is an offense that can be put to death. So do not be a sodomite.
But you can't say that in this world, right? Can you imagine that if you went and like, hey, you're a sodomite, we're gonna pick up the rocks and kill you, right? People will be like, oh yeah, is that right? This is the world that we are trying to get to, right? This is the Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. This is the kind of a Kodesh union of a legitimate family. And we live in a really funny world that, it used to be taboo to be a sodomite. And now it's just like, it's okay, right? According to the world. But it's not okay, according to our Creator. And it's one of these things that, it's hard to get people, especially those who are sodomites, to start keeping the commandments when one of the biggest commands that they would fall over is particularly that command. So, be Kodesh.
Be Kodesh was to be Kodesh. Everything that we do was just to be the people of Yahuwah and obeying His commands. Do not reap the corners of your field, or you shall not glean your vineyard. You are supposed to leave it for the strangers, the fathers, the widows, so they have something to eat when they walk through your field. They have something because they can't provide for themselves.
Do not deal falsely or defraud your neighbor. You should be Kodesh in everything. You should have correct weights and scales.
Do not lie or be a liar. You should be honest in everything you do. You're not supposed to lie. It doesn't matter what it is. You are supposed to be honest in everything you do.
Pay your workers for the day's wage they are due. If you have someone who is working for you, pay them what they are owed.
Do not harm the disabled. This is like an abomination. This is an evil thing to do, to harm the disabled. You should be building them up. You should be taking care of them. You should be helping them. You should not be doing things that put them in harm's way. Do not endanger your neighbor. You don't want to put your neighbor in danger. You don't want to do things that will cause him harm, whether it's cutting a tree and it falls on top of his house, or doing something that can possibly hurt him. Do not endanger your neighbor.
Do not hate your brother. He is your family. He is one of your people. You should not hate him. Rebuke your neighbor for his sin. If you see your neighbor doing something that is against the Torah, you are to take him and tell him. You're supposed to say, hey, this is wrong. This is against the Torah. You need to stop what you're doing. If he does not listen, you take another witness. And if he does not listen to those two, you take it before the judge.
Hold on. What's this guy's name? How do we say his name again, Mom? Is this Andrew? Yeah. So Andrew goes, does no snitching apply as a lie? So it sounds like...
What do you mean?
What are we snitching here?
Well, here's snitching. I mean, it's like snitching is a term for
right.
Street, right? I mean,
right.
Street credibility, right? In the street. No. Yeah. So let's put this up. If you saw something, and the cops came and said, "Did you see this? Is this what? How do we do this?"
I mean, you tell the truth.
You would tell the truth on all of it.
I mean, I would think you would have to. I mean, one is don't lie. One is be an honest witness, and then also don't be a liar.
So if your neighbor's jaywalking across the road and a cop goes, "Hey, who was that just crossed that road?" Are you obligated to send this guy up the river? Okay, number one, let's talk about this.
I mean, it doesn't break Yahuwah's law. Okay,
right. Okay, here we go. That's what I'm looking for right here. Right, we have a couple laws. Right, we have crazy laws and we have Yahuwah's laws. Right, there's a lot of things to be said. How do we establish if a cop if under Yahuwah's laws, if a cop came to you and said, "Did you see this?" What would you say? At the behest of how many witnesses are you a good witness?
2 or 3.
More than 2 witnesses, right? And so that is a great question, right? That's one of these things right here. We have a government, and our government is the Torah, right? That is the constitution of the things that we will not violate. We must not violate. And so, there's something. I don't know so much as if like a government institution came to me and wanted to take my neighbor up the road, I don't think I would feel obligated to send my neighbor up the road, right? I do not. Number one is I do not believe in the police system. I do not believe in the Democrat Republican government. I don't believe in any of it. We got rid of this whole thing, right? It's a left-right paradigm. It's the same cheeks of the same rear end. It's all the exact same stuff. And so I would probably say that I would say I didn't see anything, man. I would probably have to say I would lie to the man here and say I didn't see anything. My left eye is not so good. I don't know what I'm doing, right? That is probably how I'd handle it. I don't know. What did Mr. Sabar say? Yeah, I cannot participate. Yeah, you do like Anthony Fauci did. He goes, what's he say?
I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth 111 times after he tried to kill off the entire world's population. It's amazing that people can still walk around and, they still free people and the rest of the world knows it. So yeah, I don't think I participate. I don't think I would send my neighbor up the road for the man. I don't think I would, I just don't think I would do it. Now, if Yahuwah's people came and I was in the Kodesh land and this was something that was based on Torah, yeah, absolutely, right? I'm not going to break Torah. But as far as like sending somebody up the road for jaywalking or like who put this in the yard or something like this, like Sister Barb says, I'm not going to get involved. Yeah, plead the fifth. And it's like it's another verse that we have is, we know that we're not supposed to send our neighbors into the hands of other like governments, right? What is the verse? Anyone remember that? The verse where it's Don't do it, right? And pay off your bills so you don't end up at the thing. There's a lot of different reasons not to be part of the system. So, great question. You got me on that one. I guess we're all coming to moments here of truth, but I don't think I would do anything for the man. And that's just me, guys. Please pray, seek it. I may not have the right answers for all this stuff. Continue on, Phyllis.
Hold on.
What do you got?
So somebody on our Yah Scriptures Live.
Oh, yeah.
His name's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
He says you're wrong.
I'm wrong.
I said, what are we wrong about? And he says, one man to one woman. Plenty of examples of many women to one man.
Oh boy.
Gideon, Job, Abraham. I don't know if everybody heard.
Yeah, so, okay. So Mr. Cole's talking. So we have, go to the other chat. Go to the other chat. So we have over here, we have Kevin. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. So thank you, Kevin. We appreciate it. We do appreciate it. And listen, number one, let me first start off this saying multiple women is not against the Torah. Let's talk about this, right? Did Job have multiple women?
He had one. He got a wife later.
Yeah, she got smoked, right? So based upon this now, and I hear this all the time, right? This is a literal discussion amongst very large Torah groups, right? There's some very, very large Torah groups, and they are all about multiple people in a marriage. Now, the thing is, number one is if you are trying to have a very happy marriage, if you're trying to make it, and I will tell you that how long have I been married? Like 26, 27 years? Somewhere around there. I've been married a very, very long time. And during those 20-some years that we've been married, there's always bickering, right? There's always stress. There's always things that are inside the marriage, finances, kids, all sorts of things that make life, it makes life difficult. And in the event that I would have ever gone to my beautiful wife and said, hey, baby, I love you with all my heart. And, I love our family. And I really love the dynamic we have. It's just, it feels so roomy. It feels so cozy. I thank you. But I've been thinking maybe there's this chick down the road, and maybe I was thinking maybe I could go hang out with her at her house. So I'm going to have two houses, right? We'll be on the same block. And your wife is going to be crushed, right? I have never, ever met a single woman that has come out of a system like this that says, man, I was really excited. My husband decided he was going to go get another wife, right? And so at the expense of your wife's heart, her emotions, her setup, and we have to remember, why did we have marriages with multiple people in the first place? Right? It was because we were building societies. The days of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? You could have 300 men come from a village somewhere, and they could take out your entire family. The greatest way to survive that was to build as many families and as quickly as possible. So in the event that is what we needed to do, and yes, throughout scriptures, there are lots of examples like that, but you also have the words of our Messiah. And the words of our Messiah are very, very clear when he talks about there wasn't supposed to be a divorce, right? The whole thing about the divorce was because men had hard hearts, and that it was two fleshes becoming one. And so when our Messiah gives us this example of this and trying to do it, it's just one of these things. Again, it's not against Torah. But it is, it's never going to build a beautiful relationship. You're never going to have a happy family, let alone happy families. And I'm sure there's exceptions. But anyway, let's keep going, guys, before we get too far out into this. Yeah, Messiah said one wife. The first multiple wives family was who? Who was the first multiple wives family?
Jacob. No, Abraham.
Abraham.
Well,
yeah, Abraham, right? Abraham, and it wasn't actually like a.
It wasn't obviously
no,
good at
it
all.
wasn't a good wife.
It was Terach.
Oh, Terach?
Because they had different mothers.
Right. Yeah, so there's examples. I'm not saying that it is against the Torah, but
Those all went
it's tough.
terribly. Those all went really bad. If you look at how Abraham and his Sarah and
Hagar.
went. That was terrible. She left in
There was
tears.
jealousy, fighting. They didn't like
Have we
each
had
other.
what marriages have we had that were successful with multiple wives?
I don't know. Solomon had 700, but we don't know how.
Yeah, that wasn't successful.
We got
could've
the
been.
entire
He probably
kingdom.
ended up
That's
in
the
hell.
worst example you could give. He got the entire kingdom ripped away.
Yeah, Solomon's not the right example.
Not David either.
David, not either, right?
Right.
He killed a man for his wife. I mean, they were
Stole the wife.
stole a wife. Yeah. So there's just not a lot of examples of great things happening. And I guess I would have to ask somebody very, very cautiously, what is the point of it? Are we just being freaky deeks? Are we just like want a little bit more than what we're getting? Is it too hard to be faithful to one wife? There is a specialty between a man and a woman that you're not going to get with a man and two women.
The best marriage was Isaac and Rachel.
No, Isaac and Rebecca.
Rebecca. Where they had a good marriage. There was like no issues.
I mean, I don't know. They lied and like.
At the end, but
Stole
like
the blessings
there was
and
no
stuff.
like infighting.
Yeah, but
You got
there was
to
no
Ja-
infighting. We're just talking about marriages.
Yeah, you get to Jacob and you get to Esau, and they had multiple wives, and everything sucked. The whole families hate each other.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Anyway, let's get on to this. This stream. What do we got, Mr. Hall?
Sister Barb says, could a man even support more than one wife?
Not
With
in-
children today?
Not in this economy.
No.
Well, that's the thing is we know of a dude that does it. Long ago, we had a guy that came around, and he's a friend of ours, and he was married and had a kid, and they were all grown up, and then all of a sudden one day he's like, I'm getting married to another woman, and it's right down. Literally, it was right down the road. And he sent us pictures, and everybody, I guess, they said they were doing okay, but I don't know. I don't know how you're ever going to be content in your life when your man is in another bed with another woman, regardless if it's his wife, right? There's going to be nights of crying, tears all the time, right? I don't know how this is ever going to go down. So if you want to have a happy life, if you want to have a stress-free life, stressor less free life, it's you're not going to do that when you are bed hopping with multiple women. Even if they're your wives, it's going to be tough. Somebody's going to get hurt. Some hearts are going to get broken. So, all right, let us roll in. Lamech was first to have multiple wives.
Yeah, it was. 'Cause he was crying to the wives.
Oh, right. And they, Lamech. Thanks, Graham. Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, they disowned him.
Okay, yeah, they did. Okay, well, let's get into this. We're never going to make it through this today, folks. I guess we're choosing 3 hours. We're going to get it today.
I'm making more than that.
Hey, let's go. Let's make it into 4.
All right, love your neighbor as yourself. The second of the greatest commands according to Yehoshua. This is not going to harm him. You're not going to put him in danger. You're not going to rip him off if you love your neighbor as yourself.
And I think, wouldn't that go to the wives? I mean, your wife is your neighbor, right? And if you love your wife as yourself, one thing you're not going to do with yourself is you're not going to cheat on yourself. And I know it's not cheating when it's your own wife, but there is going to be a wife that is the wife of your youth that has a tender heart. And when you're at the other house with the other woman, somebody's going to be crying, right? I just can't see how that's okay. And again, there's probably circumstances where it has worked out, but for the majority of the time, trying to get to that point of, is this going to work out or not? By the time you figure it out, your entire family's going to be in disarray.
Yeah,
it's over now. Start again. Okay, hit it, boys.
Do not diverse your cattle. We are supposed to mix our cattle. We're supposed to keep them at the same breeds that they are.
Do not mingle your seed. When you plant vineyards of seeds, you need to keep them all unified. There should be no mixed seeds. There should be no issues with the way they grow up.
Do not mingle linen and wool. When you put these two fabrics together, they create a frequency that is very harmful for your body.
Do not lie with a taken woman. If the woman belongs to someone else, you do not lie with her.
Do not eat the fruit of the trees for 3 years. When you plant some trees and they produce fruit, you have to wait 3 years so they can reabsorb the fruit and get its nutrients and become stronger.
Do not practice sorcery. Pretty obvious, but you should not be consulting devils and demons. You should not be doing evil things like this. This only is more Satanism.
Do not round your beard or the corners of your head. When you have a beard, you are not supposed to style it. You're not supposed to do what the pagans do.
Wait. You say that you're not supposed to style your beard?
Well, I mean, not kind of like
Right.
pagans do.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, I mean, style. You've got to make sure we're clear on this stuff, right? All right. So style. People style their stuff all the time, but as far as like rounding it,
Styling with a razor.
goatees, and all that crazy stuff. That's what we're told not to do.
Do not cut yourself for the dead. And someone dies, the pagan thing is to cut yourself and do bloodletting.
Do not get tattoos. You're not supposed to mark your body. You're supposed to be pure before Yahuwah. Do not prostitute your daughter.
That should be a rock pile. You should be put to death for doing that. Yep. You're not to defile your temple. Your temple could be your body. You also be the temple that Yahuwah created. Others defile it, was to keep it safe and protected and fit.
And this one is particularly your body, right? Do not defile your body. All this kind of stuff, right? You look at Anthony Fauci, right? I think everybody of us in the Torah keeping community was onto that ruse back at the beginning of this decade, and that is what we saw as total body defilement. And those of us that Yah opened a lot of our eyes, a lot of people that didn't do it, but for those that didn't, you can see what happens to them as their bodies are defiled. We got some serious sicknesses. We got all these kind of crazy cancers and all this crazy kind of stuff out there, right? And that's the one thing that our Creator has given to us is an immune system. That's the point of getting a cold, is we're supposed to get sick. We're supposed to be okay getting sick. And remember 2 weeks ago when I was saying I love getting sick, and I think Sue said, oh, well, Jason likes getting sick. I just like to see my body's immune system doing what our Creator has done. And if we didn't get sick, then we would have toxins in our body. So getting sick is a great thing.
Do not consult the medium. This is just like practicing black magic, practicing sorcery. You're not supposed to consult the medium. You're not supposed to consult them because they're using devils and demons and unholy ways.
Respect your elders. Respect those that are older than you, those that have more knowledge and more experience. Respect them. Have correct weights and measures. You should be truthful in everything. You should not try and scam people.
Do not walk in the manners of the nations. Walking in the manners of the nations is keeping their festivals, keeping their feasts, doing as they do, and we're supposed to stay separated.
What you got?
Back to the beard.
Back to the beard. Uh-oh.
Dragon wants to know, is it okay if he shaves his beard?
You can shave your beard. You can shave your beard if you want to be a lesser than an alpha.
So we might make fun of you a little bit. We might play the beta male or something.
Yeah, no, sorry. We're sitting around like Eli's the only one that has a clean shaven face.
Hasn't grown in yet.
He hasn't grown in yet, but everybody else, my beard's down to the belly button. These guys are working the very best that they got. What are you looking? You think down my belly button? No. Oh, okay. Well, we're all bearded folks. We're beardos here, and so we will always say that beards are the way to go. And Scriptures obviously says that it's an alpha male kind of thing to do. And because when I say alpha male, it was like King David's soldiers, warriors. They all got jacked up, and they got their clothes ripped off, their beards shaven. And King David let them go to a village until their beards regrew. Right? It was such a big deal that, this guy coming back half shaved, that was a big deal. So back in the day, I guess it was a big deal if you shave or not. One thing to consider is that, I don't think in the kingdom to come, I don't think the women are going to be shaving their legs and armpits, and I don't think men are going to be shaving. I don't think there's going to be a Gillette station up there. So I think the hair that we have is going to be flowing, and it's going to be growing, and we're all going to look like a bunch of lions and other things like that. So, yeah. A fifth for us, Foster's Fauci. Yeah, plead the fifth. Yeah, we Americans, let's deal with that guy. All right, let's continue on before we get banned.
Okay. We're on have correct weights and measures? Have correct.
No, yeah, we're on keep the feast.
Keep the feast of first fruit, the Shavuot, and the Omer count. It's a feast of our first fruits to Yahuwah, the first of our produce. We're supposed to give it to the Levites, and we're supposed to show Yahuwah that we are truly his people. Keep the Feast of Trumpets, Yom Torah. It is the day of blasting where you are to blow your shofar.
Keep the feast of Sukkot, shed the Atzar red. This is the feast where you are out in a little sukkah, and it's some sort of like makeshift living space for 7 days outside as remembrance of the children of Israel as they were out in sukkahs when they were coming into the land.
If you blaspheme the name of Yahuwah, you shall be put to death. If you curse his name, if you use his name badly, you swear falsely by his name, you are supposed to be put to death. If you kill your neighbor's animal, you must give him another. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you kill your neighbor's animal, repay him.
Repay injury for injury. This was how the justice system worked. And, Messiah says, turn the other cheek. However, back in the days of Torah, when there was such an incident as you accidentally took out some dude's wife's eye, and you shouldn't have done that, it was your fault, the turning the other cheek probably isn't going to be a thing. The guy's probably going to have you lose your eye for, that kind of thing. And that was what the Torah of it was all about, is that when we lived in a society that, it really did pay injury for injury, people are going to do less stuff, right? If you knew that you were, you'd lose an eye for taking out someone else's eye, you're probably not going to do it. And all of these commands, like taking people outside to the rock pile and killing them when they're breaking Torah, this was preventative measures. This was to show everybody in the civilization, everybody in the community, that when we break the rules and regulations of our Creator, we have to pay the consequences for that. Continue on, fellas.
All right, we are on
Honor to the Yobel, the Jubilee year. This is the year when everything gets reset. Ownerships, slaves, everything gets set back, and everyone has a great reset.
Confess your sins to Yahuwah and repay you have trespassed against.
You said the Great Reset. All I could think about was all the people at the beginning of the century that told us we're going to eat the bugs, be happy, nobody's going to own anything, and that was the great. Yeah, shout out to Chuck. That was the Great Reset. All right, continue on, guys.
Confess your sins and repay you have trespassed against. You are supposed to, if you sin against Yahuwah, you're supposed to confess. You're supposed to confess to your sins if you trespass against someone else, and you're supposed to repay them in whatever manner they would need to be repaid in.
Keep going. We have the inside problems here.
Inside
joke. Yeah, inside joke.
Confess your sins, Yahuwah, and repay you.
I said that one.
Oh. The law of being a Nazir. Being a Nazir was a set-apart covenant. It was when you were to be holy, you were to be more Kodesh, you were to stay away from uncleanness. The grapevine, you were supposed to grow out your beard, not let a razor touch your head.
Wear the tzitzites on 4 corners of your garments. You're supposed to have 4 blue tassels, 1 on each corner, and it is a remembrance that we are Torah keepers.
The law of whoever touches a corpse. This is what happens when you have dead. This probably happened a lot. There's a lot of dead, a lot of dying, and when you deal with a corpse, how to get clean and how to come back into the camp.
Follow Yahuwah's law of inheritance. Yahuwah's law of inheritance, so those who get when someone dies, what they inherit, who inherits it, whether it is the closest relative, the brother, the cousin, the nephews, or the daughters.
The law of keeping your oath to Yahuwah. If you were to make an oath to Yahuwah, you were to keep it. You were to follow through with what you were to say.
Do not add or take away from the word. One of the most important commands. You are supposed to keep the Torah to completion, and you're not supposed to add to it or take away from it.
Guard your soul. You are to protect your soul. It's the most important thing you have. You are to protect it with everything you have.
Learn to fear Yahuwah, which is to fear Yahuwah, which is to respect Him. And if you do not fear Him, then you will sin against Him and do as the Christians do.
Not just the Christians, all religions. It's can't pick on just one. Continue on.
You shall love Yahuwah with all your heart. Now, this is what Yahushua called the greatest command, because you love Yahuwah with all your heart. You're going to keep His commands. You're going to obey what He says. You're going to listen to His entire Torah if you love Him with all your heart.
And the polar opposite of that is put the laws on the cross, right?
That's hating Yahuwah.
That's hating Yahuwah. So continue on. And that's not fearing Yahuwah, and that's not guarding your soul. So every single one of these, 109, 110, 111, and then 112, I think they all fall into the same thing, right? If we truly love our Creator, then we're truly going to fear Him. And I don't see any reason not to fear Him. This guy is a great designer. He could also be the great destructor as well. So continue on, fellas.
We are on bind the laws. Bind the laws that are put on your hand, that put between your eyes. Everywhere you go, your Torah is supposed to be guiding you. It's supposed to be what you do. The work of your hands is supposed to be based on Torah, and you're supposed to look through life through the lens of a Torah.
Write the laws on your doorposts. Whenever you go in and out of your house, you are to remember the Torah.
Do not tempt Yahuwah. This is something we read about last week. Yahushua said, you shall not tempt Yahuwah. We're not supposed to tempt Him. We're not supposed to try Him. He is Yahuwah. He does not need to be tried.
Do what is right and good in the sight of Yahuwah. Whatever you do is supposed to be good inside of Yahuwah and not good in your own eyes.
And if that doesn't make any sense to you, what is good and right in the sight of Yahuwah? We're reading through the sight of Yahuwah, right? This is what the eyes, wishes, words, speech of what Yahuwah wants us to do, because He wrote this. And this is what He says. He's like, if you love me, be obedient. These are the ways to the kingdom. Continue on.
Let's see, we are
Do not be afraid of your enemies. You have the greatest commander of all times, Yahuwah. And He, regardless of what you think, everything that we do is under His sight, and nothing happens without Him allowing it to happen.
Remember Yahuwah. No matter where it is, no matter your success, no matter your downfalls, no matter what it is, remember Yahuwah. He is the one that created us all. He's the one that sees and hears all. He is our Creator.
Circumcise your heart. You're supposed to put your heart into a covenant. You're supposed to cleave to Yahuwah. You're supposed to dedicate your heart and go into a covenant with Yahuwah.
Swear by his name. If you are swearing, it is only by Yahuwah's name, and you must keep it.
Destroy graven images. Now, this is when you have idols that are built, when you have the deities that are built, you are to take them down, you are to destroy them, you are to burn the ground around it.
Do not make an idol of Yahuwah as the pagans do to their Elohim. Right? It comes up, a lot of this, it talks about the graven images, when we were talking about the graven images. People do this all the time, right? They find something and they will worship it, and it's not what our Creator wants. He's a living, breathing Elohim, and we're made in his image, which means he probably looks a lot like we do with the same functioning stuff. And so we don't need a little memoir of our Creator. We can look out the door. You can take a deep breath. Every single breath that you take, that invisible air that is filling your body full of life-saving stuff, that's the miracle right there, right? You can't take a breath without literally seeing the hand of our Creator around us and everything.
Rejoice in all Yahuwah has blessed you with.
Yeah, you keep rolling.
Rejoice in all Yahuwah has blessed you with. We rejoice in what he has given to us. He has blessed us with life. He has blessed us with another day, with air to breathe, with the sky out.
Fingers, fingernails. Guys, I was thinking about this the other day. Your fingernails. Look at your fingernails and look at your fingers. Imagine your fingers with no fingerprints and no fingernails. What would that do? How would this look? What would stop?
Stuff would be more slippery.
Everything would be slippery.
You couldn't really itch yourself.
You couldn't itch yourself. I mean, how many times do you use your fingernails for various things? You use it as a pry tool. You use it as it protects the ends of your little fingers, right?
Flicking.
Yeah, like flicking. Like imagine the damage we'd have if we didn't have that little piece of everything. I'm just simply talking about a fingernail shows you guys the resume of our Creator, that he's really thought this stuff out, which is why we don't want to do what's right in our own eyes, which is why we want to do everything for him. Continue on.
All right, we are in. Do not hearken to the word of the false prophets. When a false prophet comes around, we are to listen to them. We're to take them outside the gate and throw rocks at their head.
Do not make a baldness between your eyes for the dead. Probably talking about shaving your eyebrows, but you are to not make a baldness between your eyes for the dead.
You shall not eat any abominable thing. Anything Yahuwah says not to eat, anything that has died, anything that is torn of beasts we are not supposed to eat. It's not supposed to come across our lips.
Or pig, right? They call pig an abomination in scriptures. So that's not what we eat.
You shall give to a stranger clean food that died itself, but you shall not eat of it. If something that is clean dies, you can't eat of it, but you can give it to someone who is around you who is not a Torah keeper.
Give tithe of your increase of seed year by year. Every year you're supposed to give an increase of your seed to the Levites. You're supposed to bless them because they had nothing and they were there to help you and give you Yahuwah's laws. The laws of the end of the 7-year release. Every 7 years, slaves were set free, land was supposed to return, debts were supposed to be forgiven, and it was the end of the 7-year release.
Do not borrow from the nations. If you are to borrow from one of your people. Do not borrow from the nations. Do not enter into contact with them. Do not enter into debt with them.
Do not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from the poor, the widows, the lepers, the prisoners in prisons. Right? There's so many different examples in scriptures on the people that are lifted up in the eyes of our Creator, and we can very, very clearly see it. And these are the people, if you're looking for qualifiers for tithe, right? A lot of people are like, hey, where do I put my money at? And you have all these grease balls that are sitting in these pulpits that are taking your 10%, when that's actually contrary to what scriptures, right? We don't have scriptures telling us to take 10% of our cash and giving it to anybody. But when you see and your heart calls you to do things like help the poor, you can buy bags of rice, you buy some socks, buy some underwear, buy some stuff that these guys can use, toothpaste, stuff like this, and go drop bags of this stuff off, and their lives will change. Your lives will change. It doesn't take a lot to change somebody's life completely. And so don't forget those guys. That's how we can take care of the people that are afflicted.
Right, we are on.
What? All right, what you got? Here, chat. Where are we at? Which chat? Which site?
The YouTube.
Okay, yeah.
And
So if I give my neighbor who doesn't follow Torah, okay, so if I give my neighbor who doesn't follow Torah but is a Christian, I give him all my bread items before Passover. Is that good? Because this Passover I had so much stuff. Yeah, get rid of it. Yeah, give it to the Gentiles. They don't care about Passover. They don't care about anything. Absolutely. Give it to the poor. Giving it to your neighbors. If they don't care about any of that stuff, give it to them. Absolutely. But yeah, during Passover when you're trying to get rid of the leaven and things out of your house instead of dumping it, You know, and for us, we take it way outside of our gates and stick it in cars outside of the stuff prior to that. So I think that answers that. Gentlemen?
Okay, we are on guard month 1 of your calendar. Month 1 is very important. It's the beginning of the year, beginning of the feast, and Yahuwah wants us to guard it and keep his feast.
3 times a year, all males shall appear before Yahuwah. Back in the day when it was possible to actually travel to Jerusalem, all males would go there during 3 of the feasts.
You shall make judges and officers in all of your gates. In the citizen kingdom of our Creator, we have people that can help us with decisions and help us with all of these kind of things. This is not talking about our local judges. This is not talking about our local politicians. This is not talking about all these sold-out demons that have like sold out humanity.
Do not plant astral poles near the altar. You should not be planting astral poles at all, because that is another graven image. If you plant it next to the altar, you were to be taken out and you were to be stoned for doing it, because you're not supposed to be mixing deities. You're not supposed to be mixing mighty ones with Yahuwah.
Shouldn't be mixing any deities whatsoever. You got one deity. You got Yahuwah, Elohim Most High, Yahuwah Zavoth. And, you know, it's like any time that there's other mixing of these things at all, it's not. And Asherah is just yet another pagan name. It's the wife of Nimrod. Same thing, same word as Ishtar, right? The fertility, the bare-breasted fertility goddess. It's all pagan. Continue on.
All right. There must be 2 or 3 witnesses. If a matter is established or there needs witnesses, it's usually 2 or 3 witnesses. You cannot be one person by their account. It has to be at least 2 or 3 people, and they have to be honest.
Hearken to the prophet who has chosen. If Yahuwah chose a prophet and it is proven that he is one of Yahweh's prophets, then you will listen to him.
The prophet test of Deuteronomy, Devarim, people that claim they're prophets, well, it has to come true, and it has to be of Yah's word, or else we roll them to the rock pile outside the gates.
Do not remove your neighbor's property line. If your neighbor has a certain property line, you are to leave it. You're not supposed to sit there and try and make your land slightly bigger, or whatever it is you're trying to do with that.
How to deal with the false witness among Torah keepers. When someone lies among the Torah keepers, they're supposed to be punished in the same way they wanted to punish the other people.
The first child is the adult portions, because he is the one who is supposed to protect the others. When the parents are gone, he is supposed to protect them, help them out however they need, and he is supposed to be a leader.
If your brother's cattle or clothes are lost and you find them, you must return them. Just like helping the animals of your enemy, if your brother's cattle or clothes are lost, you know who it belongs to, you should bring it back to them. That is the right thing to do, is to return them what they need. They're probably distressed about losing these things, and it would ease their mind if you help them find it.
And if you guys want a little inside joke, every time we go to that commandment, this one right here, the first child is to get double portions. You have Jaden, and he's sitting here. He always does the whole celebration, nodding, and then you got all the brothers. They're all like, no. But Jaden, why would you get a bigger portion? Like, if I was to give you double, what would I expect out of this?
To take care of the family.
Right.
That's what he explained.
You're going to take care of your brothers, right?
Yes, I do.
Right.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's go on before we break lies into this. Okay,
It's too late.
It's too late. All right. What was the question?
What are your questions?
All right, what do you got? Questions? All right, what do we got? Andrew, what does he
Are
say?
we still going to Jerusalem now?
No, you don't.
You'll die there.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to go to Jerusalem right now. And this is where I can't go really too hard on this. One of these days we'll end the YouTube, and then we'll go over to the Yah Scripture site, and we can really let go. But number one is you would not probably want to go over there in this day and age, and that is not part of it. It was when we were in the kingdom. It is when 3 times a year we're traveling and we're presenting before our Creator. Nowadays is a tourist trap, and it's a lot more stuff than that, but I cannot say any more other than let's continue on. He also says something about his wife. What? His ex-wife?
They're having the kind of conversation.
Oh, okay.
Talking about Espionage.
Oh, ask him. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying anything. You guys can chat it up.
Good luck with that
Yeah,
one.
good luck, guys.
Just don't get us bad.
No, talk all you want. Talk freely. This is what we're here for. If the stream disappears, go see us at yahscriptures.com/live, guys. Okay.
A woman should not wear what pertains to a man, nor a man what pertains to a woman. There should be no confusion in this. There should be the Yahuwah wants his men, and women.
Okay. If you find a bird's nest with the mother and the babies or eggs, do not take the eggs, but take the mother. Or don't take the mother, take the eggs.
Are you reading this right?
Yeah, what's going on?
I botched that one. Wow.
We have
Read it.
questions.
All right, hold on. Let's get through
Yeah,
this. Real
so
quick.
if you want to take the babies, not the mother. That way, if you take the mother, the babies suffer by themselves, they cannot take care of themselves. So you kill a whole generation of
Right,
birds.
it's a cycle of life thing, guys. Right, that's why we don't cook our goat in its mother's milk. It's like a freaky pagan thing. They would milk the mother and then cook the baby in it. It's weird pagan satanic stuff, right? And this is what we stay away from because we have a basic set of worship, right? We worship our Creator in dignity and truth and Torah worship and all of this stuff. While these other guys, right, they're shaving their head, their eyebrows, they're cutting themselves, they're doing all sorts of crazy stuff. All right, let's get to the question real quick. Bat Yahuwah. I love her. She's great. Does double go the firstborn as they are not Torah followers? That is a great question.
They probably wouldn't care. They probably wouldn't obey that law if they weren't Torah followers. I mean, that's only for Torah keepers.
But is it only for Torah keepers?
Well, I mean, it's like the laws of Yahuwah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they would care. Probably, yeah. I mean, I know there's a lot of favoritism. Some people usually inherit more than other people sometimes based on favoritism. But I don't think they would even care about that. If they
wouldn't. I guess that is true. If you're dealing with Gentiles or those that are not Torah keepers, those that don't care about the Torah, then it probably wouldn't pertain to them. Like we were talking about, how this should work is that this is how I would expect it to work as myself, right? Jaden would get a double portion because I would expect him to take care of his brothers financially and other ways and supportive ways and not be the big bully brother that he is now. So that's what I would try to do. So, yeah, so again, I don't think you would. I mean, if you have kids with other marriages and they're not your main marriage is all this, I would and I hope I don't get in trouble with but I would keep the inheritance into the Torah-based family. Like if you give double portions to a kid, it would be like the prodigal son, right? He would go and spend it on all sorts of stuff, and then your family's inheritance would be wasted. And the point of it is to enable the firstborn to basically carry on the position of dad when dad kicks the bucket. So that's the whole point of this. Okay.
If you build a new house, the flat roof that they lived on, you must put a railing around it. People would live on the roofs back in the day, and they'd probably dive off a few times, rolling over in the middle of the night. So put a railing around it so they didn't die.
Yeah, and I want to onto our site chat. Yeah, Kevin, you're not being confrontational, brother man, at all. We talk about this ad nauseum, and it's something that should be discussed, right? We should be. The thing about Torah channels is we should be able to discuss everything openly and make a judgment based upon what Torah says. And a lot of times there's a lot of tough stuff, right? Appointed times. The calendar, right? Every single one of us have a different calendar. Every single one of us are doing what we think is the very best for our understanding. And we're going to get aligned, right? We will get aligned when our Messiah makes it because we'll get it sorted out. But the whole point of all this is to very much be the most obedient that we can possibly be. Yeah, that's like Sister Barb says. If you give it to non-Yah people, we're talking about the inheritance, it'll be spent on pigs, and it was whores and pigs, right? Is what the prodigal son did it on, and so yeah. All right, let's roll. Continue on, guys.
Do not be a prostitute. If you're a prostitute, you end up in the rock pile as well. You do not want to do those kind of wicked deeds and lead people astray.
Do not use dirty money. If you somehow acquired dirty money, if you did something evil, get rid of it. Do not use it.
The law of divorce. Who had a specific law of divorce, even though he wanted one people to cling to one flesh, there were people that were just too hateful, too hard of heart, so there had to be a law of divorce made.
Do not take a person's millstone for a pledge. A millstone is how they'd make their food, how they grind up their flour, and most people didn't have more than one, and if they couldn't cook or have food, you don't want to take their millstone as a pledge because they would have nothing at that point.
If you lend to your brother, do not enter his house to issue payment. He must bring it to you. If he returns clothing for sunset, that was his pledge. If you have someone who you loan something to, do not break into his house to get it from him. Wait for him to bring it to you.
Do not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy. If you hire a servant and he's poor and needy, don't oppress him. Don't make his life worse. He's there to work for you and help you. Do not be mean to him.
Every man should put to death for his own sin. Everyone is responsible for their own lives. Everyone is responsible for their own sins and their own death. So fathers will not die for their sons, and sons will not die for their fathers.
Gentlemen, Eli, wake up, buddy.
Do not go back if you forgot to sheep in the field. Leave it for the stranger, fatherless, and widow. If you are having a field and you have forgotten a sheep in the field, you obviously have too much. Yahuwah says, leave it for those who can't provide for themselves. That is how to give back to Yah who is given to you.
Do not muzzle your ox when he treads out grain. If you have an ox who's working for you, let him eat. Don't muzzle him.
If your brother dies and has no child, you shall take his wife and name the firstborn after your brother. You're supposed to take your brother's wife and raise up a child in his name so that his lineage is not forgotten, but he is remembered throughout time.
At the end of 7 years, you are to read the Torah at the Feast of Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles. So this is what we're doing right now, right? We don't have to wait every 7 years. And the good news is that most of us in this day and age do read, and we're able to have this stuff where those back in the days, like this was hard to find. This was stuff. Most people didn't have a Torah in their house. Most people didn't have a Torah scroll in their house. And so these, we are at the end of the age, no doubt. Wisdom, knowledge has increased. I wouldn't say wisdom has increased. I would say knowledge has increased beyond with all the AI stuff out there, with all the world where it's going right here. It wouldn't survive. And so it's a good thing that our Creator gave us 6,000 years. I think 7,000 before a Messiah would be a tragedy, would probably be far worse than what we're already seeing right now. And it's getting bad, and it's probably just about to get even worse. So this is a great time to be a Torah keeper, right? This is the great time to seek our Creator and to find the strength, the fortress of strength with our Creator. All right, gents. Well, we made it through that. That was the longest Torah commands that we have ever been by far. That's great. So let's continue on. Guys, for our reading today, we are in the book of Genesis. We are in Bereshith, and this is chapter 10. Now, somebody who wants to give me a great breakdown of Genesis 1 through 9, make it happen. The firstborn amongst us, right? Is that you, Jay?
That's me.
That's you? Go, let's do it.
So we had creation, and we had Adam and Eve. They were in the garden. They got a few commands, not too hard to follow. And Eve talked to a snake in a tree. Snake said,
Was he in a tree?
I think so. I would imagine he was.
You think he was in a tree? I think before he had no legs, I think he was walking around.
What do you just call up the tree?
I don't know.
Like,
This thing was.
It's got to get eye level with him,
Well, I don't know if he was like in a tree. I think this thing was walking around. I think this thing was the nefesh. I think the thing was like it was different than a snake.
Walked
of
up
what
like
we know.
that insurance gecko. You want to
Yeah.
bite?
Okay, continue on.
So
Sorry.
he told them that she could eat of the tree. She'd be like Elohim. There'd be no issues, and she ate of it. And then she went and told Adam to eat of it, and he ate of it. And then they played the blame game when Yahuwah asked them how they knew they were naked, how they knew right and wrong. And they all blamed, Adam blamed Eve, Eve blamed the snake.
Who'd the snake blame?
Sorry,
it was me.
My bad.
Yeah, my bad. It was me. I got it.
And I'm like, no, he didn't blame anyone.
Yeah, no.
He clearly lost his legs.
I think he was a beautiful creature prior to this. I think this thing was a spectacular thing up until he became a slithering, freaky-looking thing that everybody's scared of, right?
Yeah.
Okay, continue on.
And then they got kicked out of the garden. They had to learn how to live outside the garden. They had children. They had Cain and Abel. Cain kills Abel. That's our first jealousy, our first death. And then they have another child, Sheth. And Sheth is the lineage of our Messiah. They have all these people. And then the fallen angels start mating with the women on earth. And they all go astray. They learn all these things from the fallen. And Yahuwah tells Noah to build a boat. And he gives him 120 years that I'm going to flood the earth. I'm going to wipe out everything. And then Yahuwah sends in the animals. And they close up the ark. It rains. It floods. It kills everything on earth. And then they spend a long time in the boat, and the land finally dries up. They get off the boat. They create a sacrifice, an altar for Yahuwah to thank him. And then Noah grows a vineyard. He gets really drunk. Ham sees him naked, tells his brothers, and then Noah wakes up and curses him and all his kids.
Yeah, hopefully I didn't say that wrong. Nakash is the serpent, Nefesh is the soul. Hopefully I didn't say that wrong. Rick has it in there correctly. Okay, so here we are, guys. Let us get into this, and this is Genesis, Bereshith, chapter 10. And this is the genealogy of the sons of Noah, Shem, Cam, and Japheth. And sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog, and Madai, and Yawin and Tuval, and Meshech and Tiras. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Yawin, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodin. From these, the coastline peoples of the nations were separated into their lands, everyone according to his language, according to their clans, into their nations. And the sons of Cam, Cush, and Mitzrayim, and Put, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seva, Kaliwa, and Savata, and Ramah, and Savteka. And the sons of Ramah, Sheva, and Dedan. And Cush brought forth Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one on the earth.
Cue the evil music.
Cue the evil music. Get the nefarious sound effects going, because this is the guy, right? And so, what's interesting though, this Nimrod. Do you think Nimrod would have come out of this had Noah not cursed his son's son? Do you think was this going to happen regardless? I mean, is Nimrod...
Someone would rise up, I guess, like this. I don't know if it would have been from Cush's line or something.
Now, Nimrod...
Ham already did evil things to his dad. It's clear that there was something wrong with him to begin with.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe that he would have taught his sons, whatever.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know who Nimrod is, this guy is a... when you talk about evil legend, this is the evil legend. And what you get with this is all of the various... deities that are the Nimrod ends up becoming 70 different names for all the same person. And so there are a lot of different deities and various things out there. But what Nimrod began is he became a legacy of evil. And it's like he was one of the very first, probably Freemasons, like in of the fact that there were some definitely Freemason lineage in of this. Solomon was another one. He was a necromancer. He also, his towers, his pillars that he put up are the same pillars that the Freemasons use. And so all of this stuff is connected to Satanism. And you can call people whatever you want to call them, right? You can call them evildoers. You can call them Luciferians, Satanists, occultists. At the end of the day, they all have the one thing in common. They've rejected the creator of the universe and have taken in the false deities and the powers of this world. So continuing on, Nimrod in verse 9, he was a mighty hunter before Yahuwah. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod, the mighty hunter before Yahuwah. There's a lot of stuff in the text. There's a lot of different speculation about this, what that actually means. He was a mighty hunter before Yahuwah.
It's usually not a good thing.
Yeah, there was a time inside of Nimrod's life when you get it from the extracurricular curriculum that he was close to Yahuwah. Like he wasn't always on the complete dark side. But, it goes to show you that you can go from the light side and completely make it to the bad side. Verse 10. And the beginning of his reign was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar.
This is the first Babylon we get.
Yeah, this is the very first, Babel. And this is it. When you're looking at the kingdoms of the world that are just very, very evil, this was a biggie. From that land, he went to Ashur and built Nineveh, and Rehoboth, and Kelach, and Resen between Nineveh and Kelach, the great city. And Mitzrayim brought forth Ludum, and Ananum, and Lekavim, and Napitukim. These are hard words. And Pathrusim and Caslukim, from whom came the Pelishites and the Caphtorim.
Something you can see here is that all these people, all their names, they were named themselves, the countries after themselves.
Yeah, well, everybody did. Everybody always did that. But what we're reading right here is we are reading the future of all of, how many times in Scripture do we hear about the Pelishites, the various groups of these people? All the evil nations, most of them at least came out of Cush. And so, continue on. And Canaan brought forth Zidon, his firstborn, and Kith, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Kewite, and the Arkite, and the Sinite, and the Arwadite, and the Zemarite, and the Camorite, and afterward the clans of the Canaanites were spread abroad. Now these are famous places inside of scriptures, right? We know about the Girgashites, we know about the Kittites, and all of these the Amorites, right? These are all the people that had a corrupted gene inside of their system, right? They still had the fallen angel's DNA inside of that based upon the Cam's lineage.
Oh, this is entire people from Cam was the enemies of Israel throughout the entire generation, and still to this day the enemies.
Yeah, and a lot of people they will read the scriptures, and they will see something like, well, the Yahuwah says to kill them all, put them under the ban, right? And they're like, well, what kind of creator would ever do something like this?
Well, if they weren't his creations.
Yeah, that is it, exactly. Those things were not his creations. He did not create the sons and daughters of the fallen angels. They did not have souls like we have a soul assigned to us. And that is why that when we are dealing with devils and demons and things that are haunting us all these days, it is the sons and daughters of the fallen angels based upon the stories of Enoch and the rest of the Apocrypha. Continuing on, 19. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon as you go toward Gerar as far as Azza, as you go towards Sedom and Amorah and Avma and Zeboim as far as Lasha. These were the sons of Cam, according to their clans, according to their languages, in their lands, in their nations.
And you can see all the sons of Cam, they all did really bad things. Like you have Saddam, Mitzrayim, you have Babel. All come through. And this probably could be from the curse that he received. This might be why.
That was a question I was wondering. It's like, did all this come from the curse, or was this going to become regarded? I think it was going to be basically the same way.
Probably would have been bad, but maybe less if it wasn't cursed,
Yeah. 21. And also to Shaim, the father of all the children of Aver, the brother of Yetheth, the elder, brought forth. The sons of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Arpachshad, and Lud, and Aram. And the sons of Aram, Utz, Kul, and Gether, and Mash. And Arpachshad brought forth Shelach, and Shelach brought forth Aver. And to Aver were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Yoktan. And Yoktan brought forth Almadad, and Sheleph, and Katzoramweth, and Yerach, and Kadoram, and Uzal, and Diklak, and Avila, and Avimil, and Sheva, and Ophir, and Kawila, and Yovav. All these were the sons of Yoktan. And their dwelling place was from Mesha, as you go toward Sephar, a mountain of the east. These were the sons of Shaim, according to their clans, according to their languages, in their lands, according to their nations. These were the clans of the sons of Noach, according to their generations, in their nations, and from these nations were divided on the earth after the flood. Okay, so hopefully I haven't lost everybody with genealogy, because sometimes we do end up losing people with genealogy. Now, why is the genealogy important on this? Why did we just hear everybody and their dog across this to get to where we're at right here?
One, we know where they come from. It keeps track of history. And we also know that Shaim, his children, are basically the ancestors of the Messiah.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, right? When we're looking at Matthew 1 and we're looking at the lineage of our Messiah, and it runs all the way through this, that is how we know that our Messiah was pure blood. And I'm not going to say pure blood, because he actually wasn't pure blood according to what the Jewish folks would say is pure blood, because we had a couple of we had Ruth. We also had Tamar and those that was part of this whole thing that was not quite aligned with things. All right, so let us get into Joshua 10, Yahushua. For those that have not been a part of this, you didn't get any of our pictures of everything when you're sleeping there.
I couldn't. You were reading on the tablet. I tried to get to it, and you were on the tablet.
Okay, so let us get into Yahushua, Joshua chapter 10. For those that have not been reading with us, we made it through the Torah about 10 chapters ago.
That's 10 weeks.
10 weeks ago, yeah. And so 10 weeks ago, wow, that does go fast, huh?
Yeah, it does. And well, one of them died, so we were actually 11 weeks.
Okay, so this is about 11 weeks ago, and so we made it to the end of Deuteronomy, and then we just start over in Genesis, but we're still going through Yahushua, and so we're rolling through this. And so we don't want you guys to get confused on any part of this, so Jade, will you please, or anybody, recap us from Genesis to Yahushua to where it is so people can get caught up?
So we went through the whole entire tribes of Israel. We had creation, we had the fall of man, we had the flood, then we had the tribes of Israel, and they all got stuck in Mitzrayim 400 years. And then we had a guy named Moshe, who was a Levite. He came and freed the people. He did miracles in front of them all. He led the people of Israel around the wilderness for 40 years, and then he sinned against Yahuwah by disobeying him and not doing exactly what he said. He changed up a little bit what Yahuwah said. Instead of talking to a rock, he smacked a rock. And they were supposed to give him water out of the rock and show Yahuwah's power. but he didn't do exactly what it said. He's like, you're not going to enter this promised land that I give you. So he dies, and he gives the control of Israel, basically leadership, to Yehoshua. And Yehoshua is the guy who's going to lead them into the land, and he does. He circumcises them all. They celebrate their first Passover. They cross over the Jordan River. Yahuwah splits the river like he did for them when they got out of Egypt. They had to grab 12 stones in remembrance for the tribes of Israel, and they do. And then they write the entire Torah on stone to remember it. And then Yahuwah says, all right, you're going to go take down Jericho and do as I say, walk around the walls one time a day, and then on the seventh day 7 times, and then you'll shout, but be completely quiet until then. And they did that. And the walls came down, and they were supposed to kill and burn everything inside of Jericho as it all corrupted. And one of the guys didn't. He stole a whole bunch of stuff, took it, put it in his tent. After they were going to go to a war against another town, and they lost. And Yahuwah was like, Yahuwah, why have you left us? Why have you forsaken us? Why are we cursed? What do we do? And Yahuwah was like, you guys sinned against me. You guys didn't burn everything. You kept something. So they had to go find it. They found the guy. It was a Khan. And they killed him for sinning against it. He was greedy and kept stuff. So after that, they went up. They took on the thing. They devised a plan, and they were able to outsmart their enemies. They completely destroyed it, burned the place, and Yahuwah said they keep some of the stuff because the stuff wasn't all completely corrupted. So they were able to keep it, and they won that war. And then, last chapter, we have people that are scared of them, so they devise a plan. They were a little more cunning than Yehoshua and his people. They come up to them and say, we are from a foreign land, do not destroy us, we'd like to be your servants. And Yehoshua didn't consult Yahuwah. He just like, okay, no problem. And he shakes hands with them, creates a covenant, says, you can live amongst us and you can be our slaves. And the people of Israel didn't consult Yahuwah, and then they found out it was the people they were about to go and overthrow. And they couldn't kill them or get rid of them because they made a covenant with them, so they have Gentiles and evil people living among them. And those people live on for a very long time, and they cause issues for many, many years.
Yep, and so here we are, guys. And so we do have some pictures. Now, number one, again, please, we're not putting pictures out here. So we're still live on Yahoo and the Torah, or YahScriptures.com. All right, so I guess this is it. So let everybody know to transfer over there because they did kill the stream or something of the sort. Not sure why, but